Nearly 8 million people left their homes and moved to another state in 2021, and more people moved to Florida than any other state in the country. Hi, my name is Amy Brown. I'm a realtor with Compass in Orlando. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me go to the top of YouTube. I really appreciate it. From April of 2020 to April of 2021, almost 330,000 people moved to Florida, which turns out is roughly 903 people moving to the state each day. And people moved to Florida for all sorts of reasons. Some were looking for a lower cost of living. We'll touch upon that in another video. It was enticing to them to make that move. Also, there's no state income tax. There's a thriving job market in Florida, which people don't always think about. You think about retirees, but I can assure you there's a thriving job market here. Schools are also a factor. A lot of people were looking for a change of pace, a change of environment. Also, the weather and the sunshine was a factor. And being able to be outside more and enjoying walking and riding my bike would be a big plus for my physical health and my mental health. During COVID, like everyone else, I started asking myself questions about living in Maryland and why was I living in Maryland, and is this where I wanted to continue to live? Is this where my adult kids would want to live for the long term? And what else is out there? We'd been in Maryland for 25 years and started wondering more intentionally about what initially brought us to Maryland, and did those reasons still make sense in 2020, 2021, 2022? My daughter started her senior year of high school in the fall of 2022, and she wasn't interested in attending any colleges in Maryland. So that was really a factor in moving forward. She had applied to many universities around the nation, and we were waiting months to find out where she was accepted, and more importantly, which university was going to offer her the most attractive financial package. And we started talking about where we enjoyed spending time. And we look forward to going to the beaches all along the East Coast, particularly South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and really enjoyed that warm water that we just weren't finding in the Maryland beaches. And we thought, wouldn't it be great if we lived closer to a beach? I didn't really want to live on a beachside town for a few different reasons, but I thought, what if it's a short drive? Wouldn't that be great? And as an added bonus, wouldn't it be wonderful if we lived near the Disney parks? We considered moving to Texas, to Nashville, to North Carolina, South Carolina, but eventually narrowed the list down to Florida. And then from Florida, narrowed it down to Orlando. The Metro Orlando is our number one choice. And I'm making this video so that you can find out why I and my family decided to relocate, and maybe I can be a resource for you if you are also contemplating making this similar move. This is an opportunity for me to pay it forward and help someone who is about to be in my shoes and making this big move, because it was a big move. So if you're considering moving to Horizon West, which is an area of Winter Garden, Florida, or any of the Orlando suburbs or Orlando City, I'd be happy to be a resource for you and really walk you through the relocation process and what I learned along the way, because boy, did I learn a lot. We took a trip in late summer of 2022 to Orlando for the purpose of checking out various Orlando communities and specific neighborhoods, and we took a lot of notes. It was like a PhD thesis. We all fell in love with the Horizon West Winter Garden area, and we had a favorite neighborhood, Waterley, that we especially liked. So that 2022 trip was really helpful as we started seriously thinking about relocating and needing to pinpoint where we were going to go. So that 2022 trip was really helpful. Emma applied to the University of Florida. She applied to Florida State University. We were waiting to hear back from them. And in the early spring of 2023, Emma interviewed at Florida State University to be a presidential scholar. And we were thrilled when she was accepted as a presidential scholarship, and they presented her with a very generous financial package. So go Knowles. So yeah, that was a definitely nice benefit. We knew we all wanted to be close to Emma, particularly Mama. I wanted to be close to Emma, so I am 4 hours from Emma. I would love to be closer to Emma, but she thinks that the 4 hours is a good distance. Anywho, so that once Emma was made her choice and she chose Florida State University, everything went into high gear. So being the realtor that I am, I took off my mom hat, put on my realtor hat, and I had a pod delivered, and many of our possessions were put into the pod, and the pod was sent to a warehouse in Florida. And like many of you watching, we had accumulated way too much stuff in our 25 years in Maryland. So we got rid of most of our furniture by giving it away free on Facebook Marketplace. And we decided it was too expensive and just didn't make sense for us to move all our furniture south, and that we would go ahead and buy furniture once we moved to Florida. So packing up the pod was very physical and very tiring, and also really emotional, again, because like I said, we had accumulated a heck of a lot of stuff in the 25 years in Maryland. And we had just so many emotions as we were leaving Maryland. We had a church and friends that we knew that we were going to miss, and it was a very bittersweet process as we packed our pod. My daughter and I, Lauren, flew down to Orlando and toured the very few homes that were on the market at that time, and again, very few, so it didn't take that long. We selected a house, we put in an offer, it was accepted. We then needed to sell the Maryland home because we didn't want to own two in those two states. Luckily, our house sold the first weekend it was on the market. I think on the second day with multiple offers. So that was a real blessing. So at the very beginning of June, after Emma graduated from high school, we packed up our second pod with all our remaining possessions and headed down south and hoped the pod would show up. We settled remotely on our Florida home, so we were all pretty nervous about moving to a home where only two of us had actually been in it for a few minutes, and I mean literally 5 minutes maximum. So Emma and I took our cars down using the Amtrak auto train, and Tim and Lauren brought the dogs down in another car. Emma and Tim had not seen the home at all except in photos before they walked in, so that was kind of interesting. So the 5 reasons why I chose Horizon West Winter Garden are: we wanted warmer weather, wanted to be outside more. It was important for our physical health, my mental health. We liked hot summers and short, mild winters. The average temperature in Orlando, the high, goes from 72 degrees to 92 degrees, not including humidity, so put a little asterisk there. And so far, I have been loving the fall weather, and I'm really looking forward to winter and spring. The Horizon West area of Winter Garden is one of the fastest areas of growth in the United States. Florida's population is growing so fast, and according to the latest U.S. Census, we're the fastest growing state in the country. But while Florida's population grew 1.91% from 2021 to 2022, which is really remarkable, this particular community that we fell in love with grew at a staggering 16.96%. And over the last 8 years, this is the fastest growing area in Florida, with the population growth of 255%. That's correct, 255%. So many neighborhoods in Horizon West have resort style amenities, and it truly does feel like you're on vacation 365 days per year, even though you have to go to work. So let's dive right into the real 5 reasons why. Number 1, location, location, location. I'm a realtor, so I had to fit that in the video somewhere. Being close to so many things in Central Florida made Orlando and Horizon West in particular very attractive. We were close to Disney parks. We are minutes away from Disney property. Being close to Tampa, Lake Nona, Mount Dora, Claremont. Buc-ee's is only an hour drive away in Daytona Beach. There's so many quaint small towns. There's the Atlantic Ocean beaches. There's Daytona Beach, Cocoa Beach. There's St. Petersburg, the Gulf of Mexico beaches. There's Honeymoon Island State Park, which is my absolute favorite. If you ever come to the Tampa area, Clearwater area, be sure to check out that park. It's absolutely beautiful. St. Augustine is a day trip, and that's a great place to go. So there's just so many nearby areas of interest. Winter Garden is just central to so many other cities in Central Florida. Also, the Brightline train makes a quick trip to Miami just really easy and convenient. The price right now is very reasonable because it's fairly new, and so they're trying to entice people to take it. I'm hoping it stays low because that's really excellent. Horizon West is 20 to 30 minutes to downtown, depending on where you're heading downtown. Horizon West is on the 492 toll road, which allows you to avoid the I-4 highway and get to where you want to be really quickly. And I really do not like driving on the I-4, so having another option for me was absolutely critical. We did fall in love with Horizon West, Winter Garden, and particularly the downtown historic Winter Garden area with so many beautiful restaurants and boutiques and family-owned small businesses. It's really a great place to spend the day. But we fell in love with a lot of other nearby cities. Winter Garden just puts us in striking distance of so many other cities that we like to visit often. So along with the location, there's a thriving job market, which I already mentioned earlier in Orlando. A lot of new jobs with Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Amazon, Advent Health, and the University of Central Florida. Disney is a major employer still, but there are many other options if you're not in the hospitality industry. Reason number 2, the homes. This area is a relocation haven. So it's a growing community. There are a lot of people in Winter Garden that are just like us, moving from other northern, colder climates. And there is a lot of variety in housing to choose from. It's very built up, but there are still new construction communities as well as resale homes. Horizon West is a master planned community and will really appeal to a large number of people. Think of it like going to a buffet where you see all different types of food. There's really something that's going to appeal to almost everyone, even your picky eaters like my daughter Lauren. I really liked that the homes were so attractive and they had the modern styles in Horizon West. I enjoyed looking at all of the lanais, the front porches, the balconies in the homes here that really encourage you to be outside more, enjoying the weather. And with all the new construction going on in Horizon West, you will definitely find a home and a style that appeals to you. We had half an acre of yard in Maryland, and we really didn't want to take care of a yard anymore, so there are plenty of options for small yards that the HOA maintains, so that was not an issue at all. And many of the communities, the new communities here, really lean toward contemporary architecture and modern farmhouse. So again, whatever style you like, you'll find it here. Next up is school districts. According to niche.com, Horizon West will always be found in the top of the area. I don't have any kids in the schools anymore, but as a realtor, I absolutely know that living in a community with top ranking schools directly impacts the value of my home today and tomorrow. So a lot of the schools here are brand new, and a lot of them are being built within communities. Within Waterley, there is an elementary school and a middle school that have only been open for a few years. Next up is community planning. Horizon West is 5 villages and a town center, and each village has a village center which has mixed use, commercial, and residential space. There are so many amenities here. There's a new regional park, the Horizon West Regional Park. It's 215-acre public park, and that's about 1/3 of the size of New York's Central Park, just to give you a sense of the size. It should open in fall of 2024, and things in Florida tend to open on schedule, which is kind of refreshing. And the park is even going to include a brand new public library, a new branch. And because I'm a library nerd, I'm really excited about this, and I will be there all the time. So this new park will really increase the value of homes in Horizon West. And this area also has so many new hospitals that are being built and emergency rooms that are being built. So that's important for my peace of mind. But also my husband and my daughter are nurses, and they work in a hospital, so they have a lot of employment options, many employment options in the area. So if there's one hospital that doesn't fit them, they would have other places to go. Next up, community and churches. I mentioned before, Horizon West Winter Garden is a haven for relocating. So there are so many people in the same boat. And people need to meet people, and people need to make new friends. That's a commonality in the area. And many people here are from the mid-Atlantic states. They're from New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania. And finding a church is a really big deal. It's really hard once you have a church home that you love to church shop. It was a very difficult part of the process for relocating. I'm a Christian, and I was very involved in my last church. I was the president of missions and outreach. So getting plugged into a new church was really important to me. Horizon West is so new that there are actually very few church buildings, but there are a lot of church plants that meet at local schools and movie theaters. So looking at that, I thought, well, with all the church plants, there's going to be a church that will fit for me and my family. So that's it. That's the reason. So I would love to be a resource for you if you're considering making the same move we just did. Like I said earlier, I learned a lot. We did a lot of things right. We did a lot of things wrong. And I'd be happy to discuss with you all of that, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And anyway, thank you for watching.